One. Hey everyone, welcome to another serving of Convention Tea. Today's episode, we'll be talking about Anime Expo 2022. I know a lot of y'all were waiting for this since it's only been about a week since Anime Expo. So yeah, where do we begin here? Well, let's just start with a word from our sponsors, the Magic Candle Company. Jade, take us away.
So the Magic Candle Company ends up making candles and little scent sprays and things like that of your favorite theme park scents. So if there's a certain ride or a certain attraction you're a big fan of and you want that smell in your life, maybe it's a happy family memory and you want to give it as a gift, always a great choice. One of my favorites is Extraterrestrial Forest because it reminds me of one of the last times I had a fun day with my dad before his passing.
All right, so use EAT15 at checkout to save 15% off your total purchase. All right, who the heck are we? We are Scarlet Rhapsody. I started writing about conventions since I was a college student in my dorm at Sonoma State University. Since then, since the early 2000s, it's really expanded to talk about conventions across the United States, Comic-Cons, Anime Cons. But you know what? I got my start here at Anime Expo, writing about conventions, writing about my experience, and we're taking things to a new level by doing these vlogs type of things to talk about our experience at conventions. My name is Scarlet. Again, I've been doing this since the early 2000s, been cosplaying since the early 2000s. Anime Expo 1999 was my first anime convention, so I've had quite a bit of a history with Anime Expo. And with the exception of AX's online events, as well as, and 2014 wasn't able to make it in 2014, I've been attending expos since 1999.
My name's Jared, or Jay.
He's a dapper bard.
I'm a dapper bard. I've been attending Anime Expo since 2001, I believe. When I was in Long Beach. Which I believe after I was in Long Beach, my friend said, we'll never go back to this con if it stays in Long Beach. And then shortly thereafter, moved to Anaheim. So...
you believe in Anaheim supremacy.
I do. I love the Anaheim Convention Center. It's been expanded. It's awesome. And I don't think it could have fit the amount of people who were at the LA Convention Center, but it would have been a more convenient zone for me, and thus it's better. Other than that, I've been doing convention reporting probably since around the year 2000-ish for my college radio, and then moving it on to various online web zones and stuff that I've worked for over the years.
All right, that's a little snippet about who we are. All right, Anime Expo. These aren't quite the final numbers, but we're going to estimate it's definitely over 100,000 warm bodies throughout
Easily.
The 4-day weekend. Anime Expo is always going to have this huge amount of people walking in through the South Hall doors. And if you've seen the photos, by this point you've probably seen the Twitter posts, all the photos everyone coming into South Hall as the dealer's hall opens up. Yes, it does feel that crowded, and yes, it does feel that overwhelming. That's why we hide in panel rooms, and that's why we wait until after 10 a.m. to get to the convention center if we're staying at a hotel. I'm kind of glad that we didn't commute this year because that would have been hell, because I've seen parking go as high as $90 a day. Ugh. Yeah, it definitely did feel like 100K. Definitely felt I would even say it felt much more crowded than previous years, because I ran into a lot of people who told me that this is their first Anime Expo. I'm like, whoa.
Huh.
So we also have a lot of first timers here, and we've already saw lines start at 6 a.m. for the dealer's hall. Whoa. All right, fandom. Fandom is always an important aspect, personality trait of these conventions. So if we were to narrow down the top 3 fandoms, much like Anime Boston, definitely Demon Slayer, Genshin, and Spy X Family.
Yeah, that seemed to be the major 3. Saw a good mix of things, though, so I don't want to think that, this is all you see walking around. Unlike, say, a Comic-Con or something, where oftentimes you'll see just the 3 most popular things, not these 3, But good variety of other stuff outside of these as well, which I always appreciate.
And I also appreciate the Peppa Pig Inosuke. I love that guy. Day 0. Okay, let's talk about Day 0. So day 0, this is like your pick up your badge day and also get your COVID vaccination check done. So we decided like, okay, afternoon gets really hot in downtown LA. So like, okay, let's just chill in our hotel for like a couple of hours. I did some photo shoots at our hotel, went for a swim, and like around like dinner time, okay, that's when the crowds kind of died down. So you and I, we ended up picking up our 4-day badge. We didn't get press this time around. Unfortunately, it looks like they were very limited with press, but we ended up getting 4-day badges because we ended up being invited to do 2 panels.
Yep.
I'm very grateful for the fact, like, yes, we're finally presenting at Anime Expo after all these years. Woo! And I actually do really do appreciate that. And then also on day 1, we also ended up getting the ADA sticker for our badges as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we were waiting in line for COVID checks and, well, not COVID vaccination checks. Lines weren't too long. I think it was about 5 minutes for when we decided to get in line. And then when we went over to Smashburger to grab like milkshakes and burgers, like, yeah, it's a hot day. Let's just go grab some milkshakes. Sounds good. We did see the line significantly increase because it was like a lot of people coming just coming
After
out of work.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, luckily we got it when we did. And like, just kind of like this, we're just walking around the convention center. Like it wasn't open because in the past they used to have the convention center open for like day 0 panels, and sometimes there's a day 0 concert. But you had like these giant inflatable balloons of the Anime Expo mascots, which include
my funny names for them?
Yeah.
Fine. Hat Guy, Sailor Moon, Manimal, because it's supposed to be a robot, but it looks like an animal, Bunny Guy, and Hello Kitty.
We actually do have the plushes of Bunny Guy and Hello Kitty. It's somewhere in storage. And I actually also have the Krabby plush from Otakon.
They battle each other.
Yes, they battle each other. The battle of convention mascots.
I would pay to watch that, though.
All right, A-chan, B-kun, we need to see you at Anime Expo to kind of duke it out with the Hat Guy right here and Pigtails Girl. But they also have a mecha friend. She's one of those mecha girls. I know there's a proper name for like mecha girls, but I forgot what it was. But yeah, the mecha girl here is Max. She's been with AX, I want to say since 2001, because she was the virtual co-host to the Masquerade alongside a duo cosplayer. All right. Another word from our sponsors. Convention Tea is brought to you by YMAC Sweaters. So use code YMAC Dame Aznable to get 40% off your total purchase. I get my cardigans from them. I get some cozy sweaters from them. So if you like a much more relaxed look or cozy look, lo-fi look, or if you just want to like also just have a vintage look or something to pair with Lolita fashion, YMAC Sweaters has it all. So highly recommend checking them out. And if you live in the local LA area, they ship really fast because they're local to LA. So highly recommend. All right, day 1, let's talk.
All right, so the day was as busy as you might expect.
Luckily, we were able to get into the con center by the side entrance to West Hall because any other entrance was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a photo of the side entrance to West Hall. We ended up taking the shuttle from our hotel to the convention center, and it wasn't too bad of a wait. Shuttle showed up like every 20 minutes, and they were on time for the most part. And this is where you get your badge checked in. It's the tap system, so basically take your badge, tap in, just like a Disney World with your, if any of you have gone to Disney World, just like tap right in. And they would also check your wristband for your verification. And there wasn't really anything big on bag check. If they saw, like, if you had anything huge, like a backpack, yeah, bag check. Because in the past, they would, like, just look through my purse. Like, all they would, like, just find, like, oh, yeah, a salad and a burrito. All right, yeah, if you want to get an idea what the crowds look like day 1 as you entered in. This photo was taken around 11 a.m. as we were just kind of like just sort of browsing around West Hall. This is about the time when the entertainment hall was opening up. So you can kind of get an idea of just, even as early as day 1, the crowds were just coming right in.
Yep.
But for us to avoid the crowds, we like sitting at panels because sometimes the panels, they're like, half full, not too crowded, like the Big West panel. I was expecting more people at the Big West panel because Big West, if you're familiar with anime history and the history of licensing, the Robotech Macross Wars, this is big news. I'll let you take it away.
So, Big West, after whatever decision has been made with Harmony Gold, has the ability to release a lot of the Macross stuff that was made after Do You Remember Love, basically. And so, at the panel, they were talking about the new release of Macross Plus, the new release of Macross Frontier, the showing of the various movies of those things in theaters, a whole load of new toys coming our way, including some kick-ass die-cast versions of units from various series. The model kits are coming back, or, well, finally going to come to the US, I guess should be the better way of saying that. Overall, it was a huge amount of news, and it's nice to see kind of this stuff being, brought out finally now that crazy licensing issues are mostly resolved.
Yeah, you can look up the whole Big West, Macross, Robotech kerfluffle on your own, but this is just huge news for us in the US who just been waiting for Macross to get any kind of localization here in the US. Like, I'm very happy that both Delta and Frontier are getting licenses by Right Stuff. I'm very happy that Macross Plus is also getting a re-release. They didn't specify which version Macross Plus it was. They're like, okay, can we have all the movie version, the OAV version? Because I love Macross Plus.
They need to release it the way Right Stuff released Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, wherein it has the OVA version, if you want to watch that version, which I'd never seen before, so that's the version I watched when I rewatched it, or the movie version. You're not missing a lot if you watch the movie version of Endless Waltz, so, it's your choice. But having both available is really nice, just for the sake of being able to see the way it was originally released and then the way, they compiled it for theaters and stuff.
Yeah, and also Macross 2 has also been licensed by Anime Expo, but we don't talk about Macross 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, day one, Entertainment Hall. Let's talk a little bit about that Entertainment Hall. So there's this photo of you cosplaying as Castor Gill. Sorry, not Castor Gill. Craft Essence Gill.
Yes.
And here's you just hanging out over at the Aniplex Fate booth. Every year they always have this Fate booth in the Entertainment Hall. You got the Kigurumi show. You'll have the voice actors just kind of show up for a song and dance. And then you also have photo opportunities. Here you have the motorcycle.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll show you some of the Japanese trailers for upcoming content. So I don't know if they were doing it here. For some reason they had a screen that was just showing various character attack animations. And it was oh, okay, that's a thing you can have just randomly playing. But yeah, the one I liked the most is when they actually had Kentoki's golden motorcycle, because it just works better with Gil, in my opinion. But whatever, here's Saber Alter's motorcycle with her sword, and then you get a Punk Jean there as well, which is fun. Overall, kind of expected more, but I also realized I missed when they get the little mascot characters dancing around. I missed that, so.
Because usually the schedule's not published until you're actually there.
Yeah, so I can't plan around that.
But the mascots are cute, so if you ever have a chance, just check them out. I love seeing the mascot show.
Mm-hmm. Beyond that, the Entertainment Hall, of course, had a huge Hulu booth, which I was kind of surprised to see.
They also had a Star Guardians booth, which is part of League of Legends, so I ended up just taking some photos over at their photo ops booth. Here's a pretty background for a Magical Girl spin-off type thing. And also, there was the Gundam Evolution booth, so you have
yes.
DJ Gundam here to spin some beats.
Yeah, while they're trying to show off the new shooter game, which it's much more of a hero shooter than any of their previous things. The stuff looks fine. It kind of reminds me of Overwatch for some reason. I know it's a hero shooter, but what I mean is the feel of every time I watch it, the way the game moves feels significantly more Overwatch to me than, say, a battle operation, which is trying to be more realistic, not even to the series, to in real life, where everyone is just a large, slow-moving robot that, unless you're certain units that can actually move fast, and you get your long-ass reloads and cooldowns and things like that, and you could get two-shotted relatively quickly, depending on what you're fighting against. And here, this looks more like everyone's a little more balanced with each other, and it looks like reloads go a lot quicker. So we'll see how it is when it finally comes out.
And you also had the cosplay repair station. So the cosplay repair station also saved our butts because we also had to like just do some styling on your Lloyd wig.
Yeah, we kept delaying on that. We've had it for like 2 weeks before the con, and we didn't do it until at the con, which is very on brand for cosplayers. People don't go thinking all of us like get everything done like 2 weeks ahead of time and go done and done. No, it's day of or like the midnight before.
So the nice thing about cosplay repair is they have changing rooms and they have wig styling supplies. They also have like just safety pins, extra bobby pins. It's very minimal help. It's very bare bones, very basic. If you just need like just a quick fix, or if you just need to glue something back on again, or if you just need to do like, hey, emergency wig styling 101, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we get on to the following day, let's have a word from our sponsors, beautybakery.com. Use ABAXT for 10% off your total purchase until on the 17th of July. So I use Beauty Bakery cosmetics all the time. I use their powder to set my makeup, and most of all, I love their lipstick. Their lipstick always just stays on me all the time. It doesn't smudge on my mask. I'm wearing Beauty Bakery right now. I'm wearing Take Me for Pomegranate, and it's just my go-to for just lip related makeup. It's one of my favorites. So if you want to give it a try for yourself, highly recommend just checking them out and use our discount code ABAXT for 10% off your total purchase until the 17th. All right, day 2. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, so this day for me was mostly focused on doing CWF, which is the Cosplay Wrestling Federation. It is a improv comedy show based on wrestling promos featuring anime, video game, and pop culture characters you're probably familiar with, and the occasional OC. I brought in Lloyd Forger from Spike's Family, and it went really well. This is my first time doing a face, and I was really nervous that people would hate him for various reasons, kind of the way my promo was written, and just... when you bring out a new character, you never know. The audience could just hate you because they just had a bad day. And, I guess I should rephrase that. Not so much that the audience hates me, but because the way it works is like a wrestling thing, it's very much a melodrama. So if you have someone you like, you cheer them. And if you have someone you hate, you boo them. And, whether someone progresses in the show is very much built on how loud the audience gets. So this wasn't a whole point of me being afraid of being a face or a heel with Lloyd, so much as afraid of everyone in the audience being like, yeah.
But hey, you got a lot of love up
A
there.
lot of love. Had a great improv moment when someone yelled, "Yours hot!" And I was just like, yes, she is. And everyone just like, yeah! Because everyone loves Yor.
And then I was also cosplaying as Yor and ended up just walking you down the aisle when it came
For
to...
round 2.
Yeah, round 2. That was fun. I guess I'm officially like the Yor on CWF now.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. And as you can see here, CWF attracts a huge crowd. Like, there's like not an empty seat at CWF, and making it one of our favorite cosplay events at Anime Expo. I mean, I didn't cover Masquerade this year, even though I had friends covering doing Masquerade. Masquerade is like an extra ticketed event, so you have to pay extra to go watch Masquerade and World Cosplay Summit. But this is included with your badge, so if you want to try out something new, I always highly recommend trying out CWF. Unfortunately, when they were recording the live stream, the audio kind of got garbled. Like, we were watching a little bit of it, like, oh no, the audio is garbled. But I had a lot of fun.
They have other shows that they've done that you can also find on their Twitch channel, I think it's their Twitch channel.
Yeah, they have it on their Twitch channel and on their YouTube channel. And as you can see here, these were just some of the wrestlers who made it on stage. This is part of the tag team. You had Epic something.
Team Epic versus Waluigi and Wario.
Yeah, and they also they were very entertaining.
That's been around for a long time.
I love their act, and
the Pop Team people are actually from Nebraska, which is why they only show up at the Anime Expo shows and are hilarious and bring it every single time. They are wonderful. In fact, there's a lot of people who are wonderful in the show. And the thing I'm going to say here is don't let the wrestling part drive you away. Going I don't know wrestling. You're going to have a character go up there and talk about beating up the other characters, or I'm so awesome because this, or what have you. Or if they're gonna go heel, they're gonna do a whole like, oh, you know, everyone sucks except for me because da 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 da. So you can have a lot of fun with that. If you like melodrama type stuff where you get to boo and cheer and do big group chants like this is awesome, this is awesome, then you have those kinds of moments that are a lot of fun. So if you like sports ball, if you like comedy, if you like wrestling, if you just want to yell because you've just had a frustrating day, go to the CWF. It's great. And like I said, don't let the wrestling thing throw you off. And we're sorry we don't beat each other up. Because I've heard people having to explain that one multiple times. We didn't fight each other. It's a comedy show. We're not here to beat each other up.
And you can kind of see just examples like the quote-unquote wrestlers on stage where so you had God Skeletor, you had Doctor Doom, and you also had Jigglypuff.
Yeah. So you get a weird variety of characters.
Like, we also had the Trash Man from, like, It's Always Sunny in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. That was fun. That was fun.
I was wondering how that was going to turn out, and just the audience loved it. So I'm like, oh, I guess everyone here's seen that episode.
So the winner of the show was Spicy Burrito and his manager, Senor Mustache. That was a great act.
Who had a few one-liners that made me almost fall on the ground laughing. So, some of the people here are amazing in terms of like their comedy timing and the one-liners they'll come up with.
All right. Before we go on to day 3, let's talk about another one of our great sponsors, California Cosplay Gala. California Cosplay Gala, they throw formal ballroom dances for cosplayers across California. They're mainly based in Northern California, so if you're ever curious to check out like a fancy cosplay dance, we highly recommend following California Cosplay Gala. Follow them at Cosplay Gala on Instagram, and hopefully we'll also get more ballroom dances here in Southern California now that our team is ever expanding. And he MCs sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, day 3. We have a lot to talk about day 3.
This is a busy day.
Now, day 3, we were very fortunate to be selected to attend the Gundam AX VIP event.
Oh, we should hold up part of the swag from that.
You know, let's let our audience talk about that. I'll grab some of the swag so we
Okay.
can like show off.
So this event had a relatively long line. There's a lot more people in it than I expected. The room itself was set up with big screens, a nice little stage in the middle for them to do little panels within the show. On the sides, they had cases showing off some of the new toys, some of the new model kits, things like that. They had a gachapon machine. They had a popcorn machine. They had waiters
popcorn
going around with trays of little mini burgers and sushi-like things.
Spring rolls.
And I think there's one other hors d'oeuvre they had available. You could also get sodas and stuff like that.
Sparkling water.
We got sparkling water. It's what we end up drinking because we're hoity-toity like that. And you got a ticket for the raffle. You got a ticket for the gachapon machine, and I believe a ticket for what was the other one? Oh, there's 3 tickets.
Oh, swag bag.
Oh, the swag bag, which you just grabbed some stuff out of, I think.
Yes, I got the swag bag here, and let's see, we got a couple of things from the swag bag. So we also got like toys right here, and we also have our thermos,
which is officially done for the event. I thought it was just going to be a generic Gundam thermos. I was super happy with that, and then I noticed it was the event thing. Like, oh, it's even better.
Also another toy right here. So yeah, we got a ton of stuff. They were very generous.
Yeah, I was expecting the swag bag to be a T-shirt that didn't fit me, a poster,
another
which
like
we did actually get a poster.
bag right here.
This gives us a bag inside our bag.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one of like the small toys.
You also got like this. What was this again? Creative 3D visual
this
lamp.
This thing is a weird little platform that lights up. You put a little plate inside there that has the Expo event logo, and it'll light it up, and you can change its color. And I'm probably not going to use the plates. I'm probably just going to put this under one of my kits, and then just have my kits have like a disco show. As using what are they called?
Light cubes that we always collect from Disney.
The glow cubes has now made my Zaku shelf or my Xeon shelf the disco shelf. And there are pictures I post on Instagram occasionally when I'm bored. I just light up all the glow cubes and just have them around the kits.
Yeah, I also met this cosplayer. Her Instagram handle is that girl with a great smile, and I don't know, her costume was just really amazing. It was just like beckoning people, like, hey.
The weird thing about this was I was expecting to see more Gundam cosplayers, and there were very few.
And you and I were representing After Colony.
Yeah, we did Wing, which was...
You were a duo, and I was cosplaying as Relina from the ending theme.
Yeah. Not really, like, brought up at all. Like, even in the display kits, there was, like, almost nothing from Wing or anything like that. Like, this is the popular one in America. You gotta do it. You gotta put this in there.
Yeah, let's talk about Gunpla Scan.
So, one of the things I heard about in the news, because this was, Japanese news some time ago, was that they're trying to have a little thing where you could scan your Gunpla and then battle each other like in the Build Fighters series, which would be really, really cool when the technology gets to that Build Fighters level where your custom can be put in there, scanned against someone else's custom. Right now they have very few things that can be scanned. I think it's like the ARC 78 and a few variants of the 78. And I think one or two of the Battlelog kits that came out. I think the Gundam Helios and Blazing Gundam, I think, were like the two other ones. But they had a couple of the entry grade kits. You could put yours together, and they actually had the scanner thing there to show you how it scans, and all your little defects or mistakes show up in the version that gets produced for the fight, which is kind of cool. Highly embarrassing in some cases, but really cool. But when you're rushing a kit to build just to put it on the machine, it's going to happen. But it's definitely in that category of cool technology. I would really, really want to see them bring this to like cons and stuff. I'm sure the line will be infinity long, but I would totally, especially if they could scan other customs, I would bring a unique custom just to try to get it on there.
Or they might do like a pay to play, like pay $20 to partake in this.
Yeah, which could also be fun to do. Just
and
to
the money goes like in a money pool kind of thing.
Yeah, or even if it just goes to I know there's the Gundam Recycle project over in Japan where they try to collect plastic and stuff and recycle it into making new Gunpla kits. I would totally give money or spare runners to that project any day of the week. But I would love to see this happen because I want to make my own variant and use it kind of as an advertisement for my YouTube channel or something like that.
Yeah, there's also a table where you could also build Gunpla too. So they busted out the starter RX-78 too.
Yep.
For people to like, yeah, just chill and build.
The entry grade is actually a really easy kit to build. We have a spare one, which I guess we'll eventually give to someone who's super nice to us.
Please be nice to us.
Or maybe, because it's weird giving it as a giveaway at like a con when oftentimes Bandai will give these things away at cons. So, because my first entry grade was a giveaway at a con. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and just some of our highlights from the Gundam VIP party.
Oh, they had a photo booth thing too, where you could change up your background.
Yeah, we did a photo booth. I did that twice. Once as Relina, and then we like, okay, let's represent After Colony because we are the After Colony reps at this event. My friend Ash in heels cosplayed as 4 from Zeta. I was like, yay, more of us here. That made me happy.
It shocks me that someone actually cosplays from Zeta Gundam because I'm like, if that's the case, we can build a Zeta Gundam team. I don't think any of us are against it.
Yeah, I met them before the pandemic, and they were like one of the few people who recognized me cosplaying as Sayla at Anime Impulse. It's like, oh my god, people know recognize like old school Gundam 79. I need more friends. And so here, explain this box you're holding. We were talking about gacha earlier.
Okay, so they had a gachapon machine. So essentially, you turn a little lever and it gives you a little...
It's like those Gumball machines in the supermarket.
Yes, think of the little supermarket ones like that. Inside is a small like kit, essentially. And a very simple one. And you're going to like plug like waist into hips, head, give it a little weapon, and you're done. It's like that. It's like a 3-step thing. But some of them were marked with a bonus thing. So if you got the bonus one, you got to choose out of a various prize pool. And I was at a position where I was kind of eating and my legs really, really hurt because the day before I had spent the whole day in dress shoes, which gave me terrible shin splints. So I handed her the tickets and said, just go, have fun. I'll just chill here at the table. I'll watch the stuff. And she came back and did the nonchalant, oh, could you hold this?
Yeah, I had lots of my hands.
You had a lot of stuff in your hands, and I grabbed like, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, what kind of garbage tier kit did we get out of this? I'm sure it's gonna be like a vanilla Zaku. Oh, cool, another one. I guess maybe I'll paint job it. I don't. And then I saw that it was the X1 Crossbones full cloth, which then made me have an emotional moment because I love Crossbones, and every time they have Crossbones stuff available, it disappears like that because they're like, oh, no one likes Crossbones. Here's our 2 kits we'll have here at this con. Oh, you wanted that? Oh, sorry, 2 other people came before you. Or some jerk will be at a wholesaler and just grab all of them.
True story.
So being able to have this, and it's the version that comes with all the cool weapons and all the extra gear, and it I had an emotional moment over it because I was not expecting to find. Like I said, I was expecting the prize to be like, okay, yeah, go, you'll give me a generic, a Zaku or something, and then you told me some of the other prizes that up there that were also good things, but you chose the one that you knew that would
Yeah, F191, that's our series. We're totally like real life Cecily and Seabook.
Yes, and Crossbones is just the next generation, not even next generation, the 5 years later or whatever. What? Whatever, a handful of years later edition. I gotta remember what year it takes place in. I think it's 132, and then the original one is 123. So I guess we're looking at 9 years later. But yes, I love my pirate themed Gundams because they're just awesome and have some. They went full out to the theming for because the company was like, oh, you're a pirate squad? We'll just make them look piratey.
Yarp.
Sure. That makes sense. But at least in that version, Cecily gets a parrot.
Yarp.
That just references Gundam memes.
I will have to cosplay that version of Cecily. No one might not get it. I know it's not Demon Slayer, Genshin, or Spy X Family,
but...
It's
a cool-looking uniform.
Yes, I would wear that.
The red uniform that she has looks really cool. Mm-hmm. Or dark reddish, almost burgundy outfit. It looks cool. And then she gets her little parrot that says, like, Matilda, Matilda, or no Zaku boy, no Zaku.
Yeah, so some of the photos here, that's you with the F91. This is me with my Twitter friend Vampy. Like, yeah, I get to meet you in person. And then here's us with the Gundam VIP backgrounds. Like, yeah, we were there.
It was a cool event. They had a discussion on the upcoming toys, most of which weren't, like, stuff I collect, but it was interesting seeing them, like, very gently hold the kits from Rich from Mercury. And you could tell that, like, they were really afraid of breaking those. Because they're sitting there going like, and here it is. It has a gun, and a shield. You can move the arms? No, you're not going to move the arms. You're going to set it down and then put the glass case over it again. Not making fun of the show, just that point of like, please, if anything falls off these prototypes, all these builder people in this room are going to basically go, well, I'm not getting that. So the prototypes must be pristine.
Yeah, I'm also very hyped for Witch of Mercury because they showed the preview again, and like we will be getting a worldwide simulcast for Witch of Mercury.
We got the extended trailer, which was cool, which I think is out on the YouTubes now, I think. In addition to that, there was a thing on the games, which made me really get interested in the SD Gundam, what was it called, United Assault or something. Great, I can't remember the title. Because it's going to have multiplayer, and like co-op multiplayer running around as an action RPG. Could be a lot of fun, and I have enough people in my life who like Gundam, and we'll all just be coming in with our own personal favorite suits. We have some fun with that. And then the anime section, of course, where they showed off the Witch of Mercury trailer, announced that Kukulon Delon's Island will be making it to U.S. theaters in fall. So
I'll be there cosplaying as Sayla.
I guess I'll have to wear my brights. It's the only
We're going to have burgers right before.
We'll have burgers. It'll be great. And then
I like those tiny
brief discussion on the live action, and the less said about that, the better. Also, we couldn't take pictures or anything of any of that, so you just have to trust us on the animation side of things. They yelled at us for trying to do stuff on our phone.
Yeah, also...
They were taking it very seriously.
I know we said that we were the only ones representing the After Colony at the party. However, I did run into these Gundam Wing cosplayers. I ran into Katra, Tro, and another duo. I'm like, yay, our people!
Yay!
Makes me so happy. I don't expect everyone to recognize the version of Erlina that I was cosplaying as.
Because they changed the ending sequence for the US TV version.
But it is a kick-ass guitar riff on Just Communication.
Communication.
I love that guitar riff. Both are good.
Yeah.
Both are good. All right, day 3. So after we went to the Gundam VIP party, we had the bum rush. Well, not quite bum rush, but luckily 411 was right above
us. So we got very lucky on that one. That could have been in a worse location, and that would have not been fun. It was one of those where we kept trying to leave, like, oh, we're gonna raffle one more thing. It was like, oh, hurry up, one more thing. No, just get it done. I have a panel. And it kept being like a bunch of like perfect grades from a series within Gundam I'm not a fan of. So it was cool to be able to just go, if we win, I don't care. Let's go. Give me a picture in front of that wing Gundam and let's get to the panel.
Yeah, so I really like how this panel turned out at Anime Expo. Again, this is our first time presenting this at Anime Expo. And we recently did this panel at Anime Boston. We had a really lively crowd at Anime Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Here, everyone cheered when they saw their favorite series on screen. They clapped, they applauded. And then when I talked about Voltus 5 and the impact it had with Filipino audiences, there was like a lot of cheering. It's like, yay, almost like a standing ovation. It's like, oh my god, like,
we had a great audience here. The room was probably full. It was kind of hard to tell because the way it's done like a theater kind of
seating.
You
can see here, like in the photo, like it's hard to like see like the faces of the audience. This is like when all the lights are up and they had to dim lights down so people can see the screen.
Yes,
so it's kind of like a lecture hall. And it's kind of like you're presenting like on stage and like, who are these people? But I hear cheers and it clearly shows that y'all love this. But it was almost like an emotional experience doing this panel because like we're with our people.
Yeah, it was great to just have that kind of audience reaction.
We're not just lecturing. We're not just doing a presentation like, yeah, here's this, here's that. We're with like people who just kind of want like, yes, we're cheering for our favorite teams. We're cheering for this. We're cheering for that. And like, that just made me get emotional inside. Like, wow, I'm with my people.
And people get upset at me for throwing some shade on Ruger.
Hey, we all laugh together, right?
I've explained to them afterwards, like, look, I don't hate Ruger. It's just an easy target to make fun of. Next time I'll do any number of other like lesser known who cares like combiner series. I apologize for insulting the one you kind of have seen probably.
It was funny too because our friend Darius was like, let me tell you about Ruger. Like, you're a good cat, Darius.
No, Cars transforming into a giant robot that fights the monster of the day. It's nothing brilliant. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, but we also got a lot of love. Like a lot of people coming to us after the panel to just talk to us, have personal conversations with us. I wish we could have got to all of you, but they were kicking us out. Like, okay, maybe we could like talk in that place that no one really gathers. We thought people were
gonna like follow us to the outside and
because there's like this little space right by the escalators going down to West Hall. Like, yeah, let's we can chit chat here. I don't mind. We have no other place to go. We don't really have any commitments after this.
And we answered as many questions as we could from as many people as we could.
Like even like getting back to the hotel shuttle, people were coming up to us like, we loved your panel. And even when we were walking into our hotel, we were stopped by this group of people who were from Arizona and London. And they also were talking about like, yeah, we really liked your panel. Can't tell which one was this again. I took a photo of this, like, oh, that's Votom's. You can stream on High Dive.
Yep, or grab it possibly at the dealer hall.
The dealer hall was very lacking in physical media.
It was. I need to next time, probably on the East Coast, or if Right Stuff has a sale, I need to get Photons into my life.
Right Stuff does have a 3-week sale because it is our anniversary. Yeah. We are not paid by Right Stuff, but it just shows up on my phone. Right Stuff, please. I would love to sponsor you, and I would love to shill for you because I love you guys.
Yeah, you guys are great. Your panels are funny, and you guys are
I will shill for you to the point where like I will drop your packaging off our roof and see if it survives. That's how much I love you guys.
Actual tests they do on their panels because they have the video of it. But yes, personally, I would love to have a sponsor, even for this panel in general, where I could give away some just, robot toys. I don't care who. Like, I guess it'd have to be Bandai Spirits or something, but I would love to just, do a trivia thing, or if someone's cosplaying from, like, Macross, to give them, one of the new Frontier toys or something. That would be really awesome.
All right, let's, now we're going to do something a little bit different here. Wait, let's see if it goes through. No, it's not going through.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So I did some wandering around the convention. So I went to the AX dance. So it was a lot of fun because like it was a very friendly environment, and I also liked the fact that they were like playing like anime music. They were playing like the themes to Demon Slayer, remixes of the Sailor Moon transformation theme, and it was like a very humble kind of group. Like it looks crowded like in this shot, but like it was, the dance floor was actually, it was actually pretty friendly. Like I didn't really go on the dance floor. I just wanted to just kind of observe and just kind of like, hey, I haven't been to an AX dance in a while. Let me just check it out. So yeah, I really do appreciate that the DJ played like anime music. They played music from Kingdom Hearts. They played, it was a really good variety of things that people enjoy. And I was also very happy that they played Daft Punk's One More Time. Daft Punk is actually the music playing in the background here. But of course I had to mute it because of copyright issues. Because this is what the song that was getting everyone on the dance floor.
Which makes sense. It's a fun song.
It is a fun song. It's like, oh yeah, a song from like over 20 years ago is still fire.
Music can be timeless if it's good enough music.
All right. And also, I went to the karaoke room at the JW Marriott. Not only they have one karaoke room, they have two karaoke rooms. One karaoke room, you know, the usual, like, okay, let's go sing in front of a microphone. Second karaoke room is the karaoke contest room. Not only they host the karaoke contest, they have karaoke games. Like, as you can see here in this video clip where this gentleman is singing Snake Eater and being dodged by ball pit balls here as he's trying to get through the song, and you can also see that his opponent here is also throwing balls at him too. So it was a cool like room. Like I didn't expect this. I was just kind of like just wandering around the JW Marriott. It's kind of like a little bit detached from the convention, and the karaoke room was also one of the very few places that was enforcing mask mandates and the masking policy, which was very much appreciated. Also, before we get into day 4, let's hear a word from our sponsors. This is Sugarmint Castle. Tell us about their straws, Jay.
So they make a lot of different things, but the thing I use is they made metal straws. Now, for your average person, you might not need metal straws, but if you're someone like me who goes to a lot of events, you go to theme parks, sometimes even movie theaters, they will give you those garbage paper straws, especially here in California. They like, oh, it's fine for the first 2 sips, and then after that, your straw just starts to disintegrate, and you're trying, especially if it's like a milkshake or something, and just forget about it. They make nice metal straws, you put them in your drink, they're clean, you take them home with you, you wash them off, and you're golden. You don't have to worry about, if you have an issue with the whole plastic straws thing, guess what? Metal straws, they're reusable. What were the old lines in the 90s? Reduce, reuse, recycle, reusable straws, they're metal, they're awesome, I love them. They also come with little cleaner brush things, you can actually
yeah, these are reusable, and these are great, especially if you like boba, because there's some stores that only have like the paper boba straws, and why would you do that?
Yeah, that's just cruel.
Why would you do that? And like, or if you're like having a frappuccino and that paper straw is not going to cut through the thickness of it, yeah, reusable straws, stainless steel. These straws are awesome. All right. And they also had a booth at Anime Expo, and they actually gifted us. I don't have the pin here, but it is a Sailor Senshi, like, and they have one for each of the Sailor Senshi that says, like, I'm vaccinated. So they gifted me the Sailor Mars one, and I got a Sailor Mars beret from them. So yeah, I love their accessories. I even have a set of boba earrings from them. So they're one of my favorite places to support. All right, so day 4. So day 4 is usually the lighter day, and this is the day I usually just tend to focus on. I know where this is going, where I tend to focus on shopping at the Dealers Hall and Artist Alley, and I could also get some better shots of cosplayers in South Hall because it's less crowded. So a couple like cosplay highlights here in South Hall lobby. Okay, oh, that's back one. All right, so Dealers Hall. Some of my highlights over at the Dealers Hall. So Volks, they had a booth that had like their Dolphy Dreams that were based off of anime and video game IP. I was really eyeing the Saber Dolphy until I realized they had the Dolphy Dream Utena going for $675, and that is a hell of a deal. That also includes shipping as well. I was so tempted, and like I saw her day 1. I know this says like, yeah, day 4. I saw her day 1, but I wanted to do some research to make sure that I was this was the right price for what I was getting, what she came with, etc., etc. So, okay, if she's still there day 4, I'll give her a good home. Yes, I love Utena too. Utena is one of my favorite animes growing up, and this is a hell of a deal, especially if it includes like free shipping. So they also had some other Dolphy Dreams that you're eyeing, such
So
as.
they had 2 from Fate Grand Order. They had Mash Kirillite, just wearing kind of like her default. Actually, think about it. It's her civilian outfit with the complete with glasses. She could have glasses Mash. And they had Scotty in the flowy gown outfit, not the blue outfit and not the bodysuit, but the purple gown. And I kept thinking back and forth as to which one I would want more, because I would think about their personalities and what outfits I could put them in, and which ones would be more accepting of said outfit, and would, if other people saw it, they're like, oh yeah, that would make sense. She'd wear that. So I think I leaned towards Mash should basically do whatever you say, so she'd put on almost any outfits. While Scotty is a bit more like shy in that regard and a little bit more very dare and would need to have something more cutesy or silly, and obviously purple because that's her color.
Yeah, they also had Sailor Mercury, Dolphy Dream. Sailor Mercury is not really my favorite, but if they had Mars, like totally yes, definitely to giving her a good home.
And you could throw her in a ton of different 80s clothes or 90s clothes rather. Sorry about that. Just go full 90s anime, give her some pink overalls.
Yeah, Mercury wasn't sold out. Even when I went to the booth
I'm surprised.
on day 4, Mercury did not sell out.
I take it back. I think the people who are your average Mercury fan probably do not cross over much with ball jointed dolls. They probably cross over with other things that you could find at a con, but probably not ball jointed dolls. No offense, Mercury fans, but there's a lot of you who are questionable.
Yes. Day 4, also some of my favorite displays in the dealer's hall was the Naruto and the Luffy cat standees here. I just thought they were just super cute.
And toys of matching them in case you need to have. I think they had a cat-themed Kakashi and a few of the other Naruto characters. I'm sure they had a bunch of the cat One Pieces as well. This is something that at the one hand surprises me, and on the other hand totally is like, well, why didn't they make this sooner? People love cats. People love like manga/anime series from the early 2000s. That's all I got.
Yeah, I thought it was a cute display. Also, you had the Genshin Impact booth. This is always consistently crowded because it had like their official cosplay team here, and they were like doing like some sort of like a stage announcement type thing. It was in a really bad spot in a dealer's hall because of sharing the same aisle space as the Azur Lane booth.
I'll be honest here, it probably should have been in the entertainment hall.
Yeah, like I just felt like this needed to be like more at the center of the dealer's hall, or it needed to be somewhere in the entertainment hall.
I mean, I know they were selling merch and stuff as well, so that's why it's there, but in terms of like the space they needed to do what they wanted to do, I feel it needed to be in a different location.
Yeah, so yeah, dealer's hall, like, crowding issues. It's just something if you're going to AX for the first time. This just kind of gives you a heads up on like shopping at some of these exclusive booths. I'm not a fan of this model. I call it the service merchandise model.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
So basically, they give you a quote-unquote menu of things they have available. And sometimes, like, this is one of the better examples where they have, like, a huge board of the what's available, where you can just kind of, like, just look at it without standing in line or waiting for someone to, like, just give you a paper of, like, showing what's available. Because I want to see the product first. I want to feel it and touch it before I commit to buying, because there's been some booths where they didn't give us, like, the menu towards like the end of the line, like when we went to box lunch, because there was a specific thing I wanted at box lunch, but they did not have that available. Thankfully I could just buy it on their online store, but like, yeah, the joy of just getting that at Anime Expo. You never know what kind of day 4 deals you might have. I didn't see a lot of day 4 sales or deals kind of given like what's going on in the world, but I just never really like this form of buying at cons where you have to look at a menu and like, okay, you have to kind of decide, and then like sometime like when you're midway through the line, the thing you want is sold out already. So,
yeah,
like,
and you've just been waiting for 30 minutes,
because
an hour,
that
whatever.
happened to us at D23 when I wanted the Vanessa doll. I'm like, okay, we've already waited here in line for a while. We might as well still wait to see what's inside. So
The one thing I'm going to say about this, and it's really an issue with Expo as a whole, just because you have so many people coming in. If you don't grab it on day one or maybe day two, and it's a thing place like this, or it's the Azure Lane booth, or for Gunpla people like me, it will evaporate by day 3 or 4 for sure. You will not get it. I've had that issue with the NIS booth back in the day, which became like, okay, it's day 1. I'm buying. What Prinny merch do they have? Can I add to my Prinny collection? I have very large. Look, people, if you ever are questionable what to get me, if it has Haros or Prinnies, you're basically in perfect. You don't worry about anything else. Haro, Prinny, those are my 2 mascot characters I love. They will remain with me for a very long time. I will grab it on day 1 because I wanted to get the Prinny newsboy cap thing they had that's based off of oh god, I can't remember the character's name from part 4. The character from part 4 basically has that hat and a little baseball jacket and stuff like that. And so I wanted the hat because I'm like, well, A, I can now Prinny bound. B, I can just wear it just because it's a cute
It's a cool hat.
And no one's really going to know like what it is. They're going to see the eyes and the beak and think, oh, it's some sort of duck or penguin hat. And I'm like, yes, it is a duck or penguin hat. Thank you. So, it has those advantages, but what was it? I waited to day 3 or something because I was back and forth on it, and then it was sold out. So the next year when they had it, we got it day 1. And the same thing with my Prinny coasters are also something I saw them day 1. I said, nope, just buying it.
And the Prinny USB port.
Yep.
And we didn't see NIS there this year.
We did not. I don't know if their company's merged with another company, and so the booth is somewhere else. I don't know. This style, like, if you see one of these signs, just screw it. Just say, I'm sacrificing my day 1. Because if there's something you really want on it, don't do the whole, like, oh, I kind of like this. Don't worry about that. If you're sitting there and they go, oh my gosh, my favorite gal or dude from insert series has a plushie or a jacket or a shirt or whatever, just go and do it. That's my 100% advice. We saw there are 2 major Gunpla booths. One that was just like kits, and then the fancy Bandai one that has a lot of the exclusive things. I went to the generic kit one on day 1, and I saw the Gundam XX, which is another one of my huge, oh my gosh, I didn't think I'd ever see this in the wild kits. And we just bought it because I knew it would disappear because it was the only one there. And when I came back on day 4, a lot of other kits I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I'll come back for that, were already gone. And all they had left were some Zaku's and a few other things. And I was just like, I can get those later. I don't need yet more Zaku's. But my point is, if there's something you see that you're like, I need to have that, day 1 it, no matter what you have to sacrifice. Gatherings, panels, whatever, day 1 that. My number 1 Expo shopping advice.
Also, day 4, I decided to just wander into Kensha Hall. Yeah. Mistakes were made. But I knew that the CO2 levels in the Kensha Hall were pretty high. Like, okay, I'm just going to go in, just kind of say, like, I have our coverage for our event, for our report. And you decided to just kind of like stay in that, like, a lobby zone of Kensha Hall.
The locals were calling the pit.
So you went in, you just kind of like just chilled and just gamed on your phones. Last day, kind of needed to chill. And me, I just wanted to see really some of the designers they had there. Hinuli, one of the Lolita brands I really like, was there, and designers there. We just kind of like just started like geeking out over Phantom of the Opera because she does have an Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom of the Opera inspired print, which is one of my favorite Lolita dresses. Baby the Stars Shine Bright was there, and they had like a lot of other like J designers over at the annex part of Kensha Hall. This is also where you can get autographs, and then you also had Artist Alley. I was only able to do 2 rows of Artist Alley before I decided, like, you know what, I need to step out. I need to go grab some lunch right now.
And you were in there for a while.
Yeah, I was in there for like maybe like 30, 45 minutes. Because I just wanted to just get a thorough look at Artist Alley, because this was my only chance to take a look at Artist Alley and Kensha Hall, because I just been holding it off because I've been hearing from people it's way too crowded, probably not, probably like, yeah, just better watch out. And it's so I decided just kind of like just browse around like two 2 different aisles before I decided, like, okay, I just need to step out. Ended up just getting a couple of keychains. Went to Ivory Isis booth, and she has a pin of Inosuke from Demon Slayer looking like Peppa Pig, because I needed that pin. It's going to be on my work lanyard, so if you know, you know. And she also had, like, this tip jar. It's like, okay, $1 if you like Marin from My Dress Up Darling, or if you like Yor from Spike's Family, of course, I put the tip into the Yor jar, and I got a free Yor pin. Okay, so let's see, Artist Alley. Let's take a look here. Oh, that's some dealer's haul. And if you want to just look at my small haul from Anime Expo, this is just a small bit of like what I picked up at Anime Expo. Yes, I love Ivory Ice. You can see here, that is the Peppa Pig Inosuke. That is like my favorite pin right now. And you can also see I also picked up some Gundam keychain type things here, the rubber stamp dealies. There was this one place that had like, they mainly specialize in a lot of idol merch, and they had like a small basket like that says like Gundam miscellaneous. It's like, oh, they got Seed characters here. They got Iron Blood Orphans here. Oh, Katrin Troa, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello, I will give you guys a good home. And I picked up a couple of Setsuna rubber stamps here. You can also partially see the gifted Sailor Mars I'm Vaccinated pin, and I also picked up at Artist Alley Destination keychain from Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, so this is just a very small haul from what I got at Anime Expo. Alright. Also, before we get into just some of our constructive criticism bits of Anime Expo, what part all of you been waiting for. So we were staying at the Biltmore Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. And, you know, I don't expect my photographer friends to just haul their butts all the way to the Biltmore to do photo shoots. Like, if you do, good on you. But you know what? Sometimes it's like 11 o'clock in the evening or 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm all dressed up and ready to go. He's asleep or needs a shower or just wants to call it a night. No one's at the hotel. All right, I got my light ring. Let's do some photos. So I got this light ring from multitasky.com, and if you want to invest on your own light ring, like you've used it even for vlogging too, use our code Cadillac Cats for 10% off your purchase at multitasky.com. All right, so let's just talk about just some of our favorite announcements that came out of Anime Expo. So out of all the anime announcements, which is the one that you're looking forward to the most?
Look, I'm a Gundam nerd. It's probably going to be Witch of Mercury. Confirmations on things, the simulcast information. I think we have a general idea of who's going to be streaming that, Crunchyroll. And we also, just the movie announcement. I want to get people together to see Coco on Swan's Island, and I realize, like, most people are like, oh, what is that? Is that the one where they scream and the robots punch each other in the face? I'm like, no, that's G Gundam. Is it the one where, like, all the guys are gay? I'm like, no. Well, one, dude, first off... That's what the ladies said. I don't know if that was the intention in Wing. But no, it's not Wing-based.
That's to be writing fan fiction as a soprano.
It's every other high school girl writing fan
fiction. It's our choir. It's a 10th grade choir, and we're writing our fan fictions while everyone's working on sectionals.
So it's in that category for me where I would love to have a bunch of people come to see the movie with me. I don't know how much you're going to really have to know about the story to just enjoy robots shooting each other and, like, oh, isn't it sad there are orphans in war? I think most people can if this isn't going and seeing Char's counterattack with me, we're having background knowledge is helpful. This should be a little bit easier to just sit through.
Yeah, some of the favorite things to come out of Anime Expo as far as anime news goes. I'm really looking forward to new Digikarat, looking forward to new Trigun. I'm also looking forward to the Macross Frontier release finally on Blu-ray, so I can own that. Oh, I love Macross Frontier. And when I was playing the Ronka Nyan Nyan clip, when we were doing Make Mine Mecha, I was like, oh my god, I miss cosplaying from Macross Frontier, because I have a Ronka cosplay that I made like in 2007.
And now for like a couple $100, you can get the Ronka official
the microphone. And you can get the show microphone. If you get the two of them together, both of them are in sync.
Yes, you can actually have them sing a duet.
Yes.
Not even making that up. That's literally a function of the toy.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new Trigun. I really like Vash's new design here. I don't care what anyone else says. I love his new design.
My thing is that I'm just hoping it's closer to the manga, because I'd love to see them do the manga story all the way through.
All right. Let's talk about some constructive criticism here. Masking.
It felt like everyone was kind of masked up in the first day or two, and then after that, everyone just got tired.
So in our reports I always mention like what is the masking policy, what is the health and safety policy of the convention. Anime Expo on their website clearly states please mask up indoors. Masking indoors is required, and also proof of vaccination, hence we wouldn't have those lines outside. So just knowing that, all right, so how are they gonna enforce this? So a lot of conventions that we've attended since Otakon last year did a good job of enforcing masking policies by having signage. Even when I did my panel on the Fabric District, I also had like mentioned it in my beginning slides, like, hey, remember to please mask up, blah 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 blah. Be courteous to those around you, blah 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 blah, and just seeing people without masks and seeing Anime Expo not enforce it. And what also bothered me was convention center security wasn't even masking up. People with Anime Expo staff badges weren't masking up. And LAPD was not masking up. Like, I have actually posted photos of LAPD not masking up at the convention. Like, okay, you would think, like, okay, before you get into convention center, like, yeah, please mask up, blah, 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 blah. But, like, okay, there was like no consistency, no enforcing, and now you have a lot of folks from Artist Alley are posting like, yeah, I ended up testing positive for COVID, and that's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Everyone on Cosplay Wrestling Federation ended up having to test just to be safe, and thankfully, we're
clear.
And the thing that was really strange to me was we were at the entertainment hall, sitting down waiting for one of our friends,
and we were kind of like just sitting like at the far end, and usually, and because I'm kind of like, I have some health complications right now, I have to like eat things really slow. So I was just sitting down and I was having like my chai and like, just slowly sipping and just kind of like just being far away from people. So yeah, social distance. And then the LA convention security staff person was not yelling at me for not having a mask on.
Which is what we all thought. I wasn't wearing a mask because she started yelling, oh, crud. And I literally reached my pocket because I wasn't eating anything. I just needed to breathe. The CO2 levels really started to get to me.
We'll get
really
to that
bad.
in the next slide.
Yeah, it's the next slide. But I put on the mask. I was like, oh. And it's like, you can't sit there.
Like, so they got mad at us for like sitting down
than not masking.
Yeah.
Just for the idea of trying to understand like where we're coming from on this. So, and yes, I feel sorry for everyone in Artist Alley who ended up getting sick because of this.
Yeah, and it's just the lack of enforcement. If you have a rule on your website saying like you're going to do this, be consistent with it. All right, this is Artist Alley. This is day 4 of Artist Alley. I usually go to day 4 to Artist Alley because it's usually less crowded, but this was Artist Alley at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And basically, excuse me. All right, let's talk about CO2 levels, and Jerry, explain the science behind this and what happened to us after the convention.
Okay, so here's the thing. The human body breathes in oxygen and breathes out carbon dioxide. Okay, simple stuff we all learned in high school biology. What you don't know is that when we breathe in, our body doesn't filter stuff. You get whatever's there, and whether it is nitrogen or sulfur or argon or, in some cases, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. If you breathe in too much, it starts having secondary effects on your body. It causes you to feel tired, sluggish. It makes it hard to concentrate. It can make you very irritable. It's nothing that could kill you unless like you were just trapped in a room and just kept breathing it. But if you're breathing it over an extended period of time, it's going to give you other health issues you wouldn't normally have. For me, just going around the dealer hall and being in the pits, and her going into the Artist Alley, put us in a position where the next day we were just sluggish and slow. Even that night, We were both like very much out of it, hard to concentrate. The next day, we were still not feeling great. And finally, on Wednesday, we were finally at the point of like, okay, I feel normal again. What the heck was that? And we looked it up, and we're like, oh, those are all the effects of carbon dioxide poisoning.
Yeah,
Yay.
like the day after, we were supposed to drive back home because we were staying at my parents' house over 4th of July. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't drive home because I'm just too tired. I'm just too out of it. But what got me to recovery was I worked out for about 90 minutes. I did 90 minutes of martial arts, and I actually felt much more refreshed.
Because you're pumping oxygen through your bloodstream.
I felt a lot more refreshed after doing a 90-minute martial arts workout, and decided the next day to also do an intensive workout just so I can like just get the CO2 out, so I can just pump more fresh air into my system.
So this affected a lot of people. It's probably also one of the reasons why more people got sick in the Artist Alley. Then you don't really hear the stories of people from the dealer hall getting as sick. Because if your body is weakened from that, then you can get sicker easier.
Dealer's Hall also had a considerable amount of CO2, about around the 2,000 level. But this was Artist Alley. That was like asking for an OSHA violation.
Yes.
And according to his father, who works in the air conditioning,
HVAC.
Yeah, at this point, when it would reach that high, you had to start letting outside air in.
Yeah.
And they did not.
So this is not on Expo so much as this is on the convention center, who legally has to provide clear oxygen to the people at the event. And they could get in very big trouble for this if someone reports them to, I don't know if that would go to the health code or the fire marshal or who that goes to, but if someone reports them, the convention center themselves will get into big trouble.
Yeah, and we're
Expo
recovering fine right now.
I don't actually know how that works.
Yeah, we don't know how it works, but if someone does, just mention that in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now we're totally fine. When we got home, we had all the windows open. We had the fresh scent of pine in our office and in our main bedroom. So we're breathing fine right now.
Yeah.
And we tested negative, which is good. All right, other constructive criticism, Hypeland. Let me start out by saying that having a Matsuri, like having like carnival and festival games, is a great idea for a summer convention. I like that it had like skee ball. Like at night, you can see the red lanterns in the background glowing. It has a very beautiful kind of look to it when you're looking at it as a photo. When, of course, this is just a daytime, but just surface level,
it's fine.
It's fine. Like carnival game, that's fine. I wanted to look more into this and just kind of want to walk around because you and I, we walked through the beer garden. Like, okay, there's a lot of people here at the beer garden.
It was fine.
It's fine. I mean, I don't mind the existence of the beer garden. Like, okay, grab some Japanese beer here, whereas we can go back to our hotel and just get some like nightcaps. But anyway, so don't get me wrong. I like the idea of like having Matsuri festival type of games at an anime convention because summer
even a little bit of an outside dance is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. And so in the evening, they decided to turn that stage and started like playing mainstream like mumble rap, and it was just blasting so loud. You can feel the vibration from the Hakeem Abdul-Jabbar statue.
In addition to that,
I hope I got the name right.
Hakeem, whatever.
Sorry.
But in addition to that, you also had horrible hosts who were doing I'm yelling so loud into this microphone, their voice is just distorted and you can't hear a thing they're saying. And look, there's nothing wrong with playing the music or having a good host. But let's just face facts here, and I don't want to do a self-promotion kind of thing, but I will anyways. If this had been run by, say, California Dances... Oh, God, I screwed up
California Cosplay Gala.
Them! We would have had me at the microphone going like, hey, everyone, hope you're having a great time. Our next song we have is from Demon Slayer. No, how many people are Demon Slayer fans? Yay! All right.
Because that's the thing, they weren't playing anime music. Like if this is like an anime con, and and this is Anime Expo taking over the city of LA, you want to show your otaku pride.
And I don't care.
And you don't do that with mumble rap that you can hear on the radio, that you can hear on Kiss FM. Like, I want to be hearing, like, okay, we're here, we're nerds, we're proud of it. I want to hear, I just want to hear anime openings. I just can't think of a song off the top of my head right now.
I would even go to the point that if we're not getting anime music...
I want to hear Eurobeat blasting there. I want to hear Running in the 90s.
Yeah, throw on the DDR Megamix on there.
Just showing that, yes, we're here,
something that
we're proud to be
into
nerds.
Nerd stuff. Even if it was, like, I know there's, like, nerd rock bands and stuff like that that'll sing songs about various franchises and what have you. There are options here. You chose none of them. You chose the wrong answer. And
because it just this feels to like very like I call it geek gentrification when you take something mainstream and you're kind of colonizing onto our territory. Like I said, the idea of having a Matsuri festival is great. Having like blasting like mainstream like mumble rap when it honestly should be anime music, J-pop, or even K-pop.
Look, there's Japanese rap. You could throw that on.
Oh yeah, like Orange Range. I'm just trying to think of what, because I know. Yeah, there's a lot of J-hip hop out there.
Yes.
Our buddy Evan would.
Yeah, we're not the people who are the master knowledge of Japanese music.
I'm more of a city pop person.
I can tell you that there's plenty of different like genres of music sung by Japanese, Korean, and Chinese people that you could throw in there. That at least would tie in. And yes, I know anime's from Japan, but whatever. I don't think anyone's going to complain if you throw some popular K-pop on a Matsuri.
Because it's also part
playlist
of the community as well. Because there's a contingency of folks who are into K-pop. They're also part of the anime community. Like hell, just like blast some Gact on there.
Yeah. So you have some options here, and then it feels like these people, like you said, it does feel like that gentrification thing of like, hey, we're a company that exists for other reasons, and we can just encroach onto here, use the exact same yelling into a mic too loud, garbage level rap music, and
I don't even like mumble rap.
Yeah.
It's not the type of music that you just want to just like blast like at 9 o'clock in the evening. Like, oh yeah, there's people in the chat like just mentioning like just other bands who like Dragon Ash, Minmi, Messia, HOT, Finkel, XL, Seo Taiji.
So we have some awesome options, and look, if you need someone to stand in front of a mic and talk clearly and make people excited, I'll do that every night except for the night I'm doing CWF. But I will do that. Or get me and my buddy Richie, as we sometimes share duties for that at the cosplay galas. Any number of things. I have plenty of... Bring over my friend Evan from Boston. Let him go and choose the playlist. I assure you it'll be awesome.
Because he's much more cultural than us in that respect.
Yes. I don't think I'd be the person you should have choose the music. Just give me the information ahead of time. Oh, what's this artist's name? Okay. Is there another big hit they've done? Okay, thank you.
What anime are they associated with?
Are they associated with anime? They are? Okay, cool. Hey, how many of you guys love the opening theme to such and such? Eee! Well, here's another song by the same artist. It's awesome. You guys are going to love it. And hope you're having a great time here at the AX Matsuri. Put down mic. DJ plays the record. I sit down and sip a boba tea. Everything is awesome and everyone is happy. This isn't that hard.
Yeah, I want to hear You Are My Friend blasting out at 9 o'clock in the evening.
Everyone's singing along. Fighting Dreamers just goes on the entire group.
I mean, honestly, if you're going to play rap music, play the One Piece rap song.
That would be a good troll. Okay. I would love to troll people with that. That would be my demand. I'm like, gotta throw in some 4Kids opening themes in there? Why? We're just going to troll people with it. It's going to be great.
Alrighty then. Alright, let's talk about cosplay gatherings. Oh boy. So, cosplay gatherings. So, cosplay gatherings, a lot of them were placed in outside. And they were placed in areas where there would be a lot of foot traffic and a lot of crowding and a lot of hot dog carts.
Yes.
And the hot dog carts, they get very aggressive of where they like to place their hot dog carts. And the city of LA won't do anything on it. You can Google that information.
Yes. I've always said, especially for summer cons, if you have a hotel, get a ballroom or 2 ballrooms, make those the gathering rooms. Photographers will have a safe place to set up their stuff. People can then gather in there.
It's cool and AC.
Not have the heat blasting on you, not have people yelling at you for hot dog, and not people getting angry because you were near their cart but not buying anything. We could then go in there, we'd be in a safe place, physically and emotionally, and we could do our photo shoot. It would be preset times. Oh, it is now 11:30, so we're done with the Demon Slayer shoot, and now it is time for the Jujutsu Kaisen shoot. Aces, everyone's happy. Is it 2 rooms? Yes. Just something like that. And then just stack it. 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to have late night shoots, if the hotel will allow those ballrooms to be open, then go for it. Do your late night persona. We're going to go in the
midnight tea party.
The midnight hour to the Velvet Room. Like we have
velvet cake.
We have options here. you could do stuff like that. Or if you want to do a more mature cosplays or something along those lines.
The 18 plus gathering.
The 18 plus gathering. I wouldn't mind even throwing one of those myself if I had a good series to do that from, because I think it would be hilarious.
Hey, you cosplay from Fate.
It's true, I could do the Fate 18 plus gathering. How many of you remember the source material? And everyone raises their hands. My people!
Because when I was looking at some of the Fate photos, they were like on that staircase, and part of that staircase was flagged off, like you couldn't like go higher on the staircase, and the photographers barely had enough room to like distance themselves to get like every cosplayer, because you had to like go on the street to get like the wider shots. And like that's not safe. Like I don't want my photographer friends and my friends just hanging out on the street while they're waiting for their turn. So I think, should we have full use of the JW next year? I think we should have some ballrooms reserved for like larger cosplay gatherings.
So yeah, just get people out of the heat, get people into locations.
Because you can see right here, like Cosplay Gathering site number 7. This is just one of 8 examples. You had a lot of foot traffic. This is right by one of the exit points to Anime Expo outside of West Hall. This is also part of the photographer zone, which is kind of like an unofficial zone where all the photographers kind of gathered right by that parking lot.
Little parking area where they were shaded, so they could actually not be melted by the sun over 4 days.
And yeah, I just think like it's just time to start moving cosplay gatherings in hotel rooms. Hotel ballrooms. Hotel ballrooms. Since both Anime Boston and Otakon, they also practice that as well.
If a photographer wants you to do a cosplay photo shoot in his hotel room,
run. Unless you're my buddy Chris, who was doing a Phoenix Wright photo shoot in a hotel room, and he wanted to do a CSI kind of like theme Phoenix Wright shoot.
Okay, well that's a unique thing though, and that's very few and far between.
Okay. All right. There's no noise to this one, but let's just talk about the use of space here. So I had to have this muted, but right behind Jay cosplaying as Gil was the Hot Topic Lounge, to where the press room used to be. Let me just pause right here. This is where the press lounge used to be. Now it's kind of public space right now, but they're using it for the Hot Topic VIP lounge, and this is just a room for influencers, digital influencers, to
people you've never heard
hang out. And basically, I'm like, well, if you're gonna do like an exclusive lounge for exclusive people, you can have that like at the Omni, you can have that at the Hilton Checkers. Because I'll get to another piece of constructive criticism in a bit. I just felt like this space could have been used for a tabletop, because I feel like this is a quiet space, and I feel like you need a quiet space for a tabletop, especially if you're doing like a one-shot campaign. And I felt this could have been used for other things that can be accessible for attendees. Because I just think if you're going to do like an exclusive VIP lounge, don't do it at the convention center, because I feel this could be an area used for all attendees rather than just an exclusive view.
Mm-hmm.
And this is at the point where you were costuming as Gil, I was costuming as Yohane, and I could not get the Burn Down Hot Topic song out of my head. So here I am as Yohane, singing Burn Down Hot Topic from South Park, and then following up with fire, as Yohane. And I think that was like at the point where you and I would just start quoting Beavis and Butthead throughout the con. Very droll, very, very whimsical. Yes. If you've seen like the new movie, which is amazing, highly recommend.
Surprisingly good. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was.
All right. So yeah, let's also just talk more constructive criticism where things were placed. So e-gaming, that was also in the entertainment hall, and tabletop gaming was also in the entertainment hall.
And they've been there for years now.
And I think one of the things we like to emphasize is when it comes to like a tabletop type of game, you kind of like need like quiet, you need like be able to hear each other. And I just kind of felt like tabletop needs to be like in its own room, like a hotel ballroom or that area where the Hot Topic lounge was, because I just kind of feel like, like you kind of need quiet, you kind of need a focus, especially if you're doing like a tabletop RPG type of thing when you're trying to strategize and you're trying to think.
Didn't look like there was much of that going on, because I think a lot of people had my mentality of looking at the entertainment hall and going like, nope. I would love to play some D&D with randos and just kind of meet new friends, or any number of other things. If two people want to set up their own Warhammer table and have a kick-ass Warhammer war, that's great. If you can't hear each other, so you don't know what attacks someone is using or what have you, that's going to be a problem. And if we had a better tabletop zone, you might actually draw in the audience of the people who want to do a TTRPG or something along those lines.
Okay. All right, I think that's the last of our constructive criticism. All right, final thoughts on Expo, because we gave like a lot of our thoughts, but however, even though with all the funkiness that was Anime Expo, our personal experience was actually pretty good, strangely enough.
Yeah, generally positive.
It was generally positive. Like, yeah, I mean, I still criticize Anime Expo for not enforcing their policy, but we had a great turnout at both our panels. Mm-hmm. I really liked the feedback that we got at both our panels. For those of you who don't know, I ran the shopping in the Fabric District panel. I came up with that panel on the day of the deadline when panels were due, because I was just driving on the freeway. I was like, you know what? AX has ever had like a how to shop fabric shopping at the Fashion District 101 panel. Like, maybe I should submit that. Lo and behold, that was the first panel they accepted. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, this panel's our ticket into Anime Expo, let's go.
Yeah, hers was accepted before mine was with Make Mine Mecha.
Mm-hmm. And
kind of a surprise, but I'm like...
I had to dig through the spam folder because I got the phone call the week after. It's like, oh, by the way, we accepted your panel. Like, oh, it's in my spam folder. Ah, dang it. I hate it when that happens, when you get an important email and it shows up in your spam. So we had a very positive experience, like, hosting panels. We really liked the panel rooms. AX staff was very friendly and being very accommodating. I had, like, an episode of indigestion during my panel. Someone... as part of AX staff, gave me a water bottle. I really appreciated that. And someone in the audience, they gave me some Pepto, and I really very much appreciated that. So I always remember the good things when I think about 2022. But again, there's a lot of things that are valid criticisms of AX 2022, and they best gosh darn better learn their lessons. Jake, what are your final thoughts?
Overall, Expo is always a madhouse. Yeah. I even I think it was day 1 or day 2, my brother was supposed to come along with and ended up not. And I sent a message.
We had a spare bed in our hotel.
Yeah. I sent a message to him saying, you made the right choice. This place would have just would have been, you going like, can I just hide in the manga lounge? I'm like, yeah, but there's a line for that.
For the manga lounge, I also feel it needs to be in a hotel ballroom.
Yeah, it needs to be a bit bigger. If there's a line for the manga lounge, that there's a problem. So it was in that category. I mean, it was nice they had a quiet room and a few other things, although it was tucked way out in a corner. Like, I didn't even know where it was. And if we didn't know it existed,
we had a comfy couch.
It was nice. But it's in that category of it was so far removed from everything that I never would have found it. Versus at Anime Boston, I walked right past it. I was like, oh, quiet room. Yeah, hiding. It's nice seeing the dealer hall get back to like that energetic, here's all these really fancy booths with big flashy screens.
Hey,
and
Gundam Base is there. We didn't go to Gundam Base, but we will be there at San Diego Comic-Con because the line will be shorter.
Mm-hmm. And we'll do it day 1. Just get it done. So things like that. Definitely the health issues were something that I didn't know about until after, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're lucky people didn't pass out in the aisleways. Or other, where they could have been trampled.
Yeah, I didn't see like any fire trucks coming in because that CO2 poisoning is no joke.
Yeah, so there's definitely some major health dangers there. And like I said, I feel that's more on the convention center than on the con, or maybe some combination of culpability. I'm not certain on how that actually
Don't quote us.
works. I'm not a lawyer person. Or wait, a law-talking guy. But I did enjoy myself overall. And I would like to do panels again. I was shocked to see a audience for both our panels, were just a really great audience both times. And I wasn't expecting that for Expo, to be honest.
We were very much overwhelmed by the positivity that we got from our audience. Because again, this is our first time presenting at Anime Expo. And just getting that outpour and positivity just coming right at us. Like, yeah, can you tell me what Gundam series to start off with? Like, hey, I'm new to this. Like, can you tell me more about this? Or where can I get this? Like, hey, I saw this on your slide. Where can I watch this? So I was just I'm so overwhelmed by the kindness that we got from people attending our panels.
And if Expo can fix a few minor things and use the hotels a little bit better, especially the JW, I mean, it's right there.
It's right there. Like, when you exit the bus, you're right over the JW.
Also, shout out to the bartender over at the JW's little lounge there.
Yeah,
the drinks were
Crunchyroll.
amazing.
Yeah, Crunchyroll had like this lounge. Like one of our times, like let's escape the heat, let's escape the crowds. We ended up just going to the Crunchyroll lounge because a friend of mine was tweeting about like, hey, drinks here over at the Crunchyroll lounge. Like, okay, so you and I, we had like, what was it, like a Mai Tai?
Mai Tais.
That was a good Mai Tai.
Yeah, it was really good. It was kind of their drink menu was really odd. And I was like, sure, I'll have a Mai Tai, why not?
And like on the other side of the bar.
But I think anime, I mean, I was expecting something, more Japanese themed maybe, but hey, whatever. It was delicious.
And also, we were sharing that space, and there was a Crunchyroll like industry party that was sharing half the space, and they had like all the sushi and literal Crunchy rolls there. Like, hey guys, no one's touching that. Can you share? There's otaku that are starving right now. Well, we already had lunch before, but
yeah,
like,
we had
hi, we would like to give those a good home, and by good home, our bellies.
It's one of those ones where, like, when we walked by, I was like, I could probably reach and grab that tray. Like,
I know someone there right now? Can I roll for sweet talk?
Yeah. Let's roll some charisma or persuasion here and see what we can get.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, overall, I always feel like the convention is what you make of it, and like just kind of like what we did was like we strategically avoided crowds. Like there was a point on day 2 where we just ended up just going out for high tea at our hotel just to escape the crowds for a while,
mm-hmm.
and just kind of like relax before he went on stage for CWF. I did photo shoots at my hotel with photographer friends who were willing to make the trek out to the Biltmore. I even made some time to go swim in the pool too. So we did our best to strategically avoid crowds, and and like I said, like even though I plan to just have minimal time in the artist alley, that CO2 is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, we do have more to talk about Anime Expo 2022, and we will mention that on our report that we will have on our website. We'll be covering a lot more of panels that we attended, and if you just want to read more, that report should be up before San Diego Comic-Con. It's still in the works, and the theme is inspired by Taylor Swift. This is why we can't have nice things. And fun fact, Delicate from that album was also filmed at the Biltmore.
Oh.
All right. Any other lasting thoughts on Anime Expo 2022? AX Ontario. Let's go.
Yeah, AX Ontario is going to be a thing. Well, we'll see how that goes.
A lot of my out-of-state friends are like, wait, they're going to have one in Canada now? Like, no. We have an Ontario in Southern California.
Yeah, look, we would make fun of that town, but it does have its own airport.
It has its own airport and, like, the best damn hot pot, like, ever. Any hoot.
Yeah.
All right, so Anime Expo 2023, well, we'll just see what that brings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this has been Jay and Scarlet with another edition of Convention Tea. Our next convention is going to be San Diego Comic-Con. We will be presenting Make Mine Mecha on day 1 from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock because...
Ooh, I get the night panel.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have an audience.
I dig giant robots. You dig giant robots. Chicks dig giant robots. All right, so remember, the con is what you make of it, so make it a good one. And support us on our Ko-Fi. See you at the con.